Welcome to Frankly Speaking with Sendra D, where we dive deeply and help you wake up to the essence of what it means to live a real, authentic, affluent life. Beyond the balance sheets, the bank accounts, the private jets, the political offices, into the realm of inner wealth and personal power. I'm Sendra D, your companion guide on this trajectory of truthful self-mastery as we celebrate your individuality and your sovereignty. Hello again. Welcome to another fantastic episode of Frankly Speaking with Sendra D. I have no doubt that you have been waiting for this episode with my guest, Dr. Nikhil Mehta, who is currently in India. And Dr. Nikhil Mehta, as I mentioned before, he is someone that I've known for over a decade. And I actually needed such support on my journey at that particular time. And he came to my awareness as someone who specializes in Ayurvedic medicine. And most of you who know me know that I prefer to use the natural way of healing before I use medicine, which is, again, this is not a podcast against traditional medicine, but this is just an alternative. And I wanted to expose those of you who have not heard of Ayurveda medicine, who are, like me, seekers of easier, softer way on the body. And Ayurvedic medicine is one of those. It's a very ancient practice. And so I'm going to let Dr. Mehta introduce himself. Tell the audience, Dr. Mehta, a little bit about you.
Yeah. Hello, Sandra. Nice meeting you again. Yeah. I'm a doctor. I have done modern medicine, finished it in 1991. And fortunately, I got introduced to Ayurveda, the ancient healing tree medicine of India. And I got fascinated by the subtlety of the science and the basic principles of the science. And I keep on learning this Ayurveda with different senior doctors. And then I started my own practice on the principles of Ayurveda. And very soon I realized that every one of us in today's jet age do very simple daily mistakes in our food and lifestyle, very simple mistakes, and keep on doing it over a time. And that turns into some disease, some ill health issue. So I started talking to my patients, finding out the root problem of their issue and started correcting their lifestyle and diet. Of course, something for the mind also. And I see wonderful results. As I was discussing with Sandra, almost in 80% of the patients, I didn't use even herbal medicines, just corrections in the lifestyle and food. And then I learned that a very important thing is that someone is feeling better after taking treatment with me, and then comes again with some another problem. So then I realized, oh, I haven't discussed this with him. So slowly I thought that my patients should become doctors. So I started teaching them the whole of basics of Ayurveda. And once they know basics of Ayurveda, they can take care of themselves. And they can avoid so many mistakes, and they can keep on changing their lifestyle and diet upon the seasons and the daily routine and so many things. So making my patient wiser is now my basic intention, because you can't have a doctor 24 hours with you. So you have to become your doctor. So that's
Absolutely.
what I'm doing, Sandra.
Absolutely, because we are constantly exploring what's going on within this form, within this body. And sometimes, if we don't have the proper understanding, we actually miss certain opportunities to understand what the body is trying to tell us, because the body is very intelligent. and its functions are very intelligent. Most of the time, we're not the ones guiding this, but we can understand what the functions are doing and when they are malfunctioning, so we can prevent. And sometimes, we can accelerate our seeking of some type of support, such as Ayurvedic medicine. But I want to take you back a little bit to the beginning of the journey for you. So you trained in traditional medicine. You
Oh, I trained in modern medicine.
Modern medicine. What's the difference between
Yeah.
traditional medicine and modern medicine?
Modern medicine is like started in Europe in just few hundred years back, and then now world over we practice modern medicine. So
Okay.
there's modern treatments and medicines and etc. And
So you're talking
Ayurveda
about,
has
so this is the
allopathy.
medicine that is general, what they call general practice. And
Yeah, yeah,
so the type of medicine that comes with pharmaceutical medication. So you were trained in that as well.
yeah.
Okay.
That is my basic training,
That
and
is your
then
basic
only
training. So which
yeah,
is
and
why
then
you're even more of an expert, because you've come from one school and you transition to this, so you can compare and bridge the two together, when to see when it's necessary for the alternative, which is Ayurveda. But you have to say that Ayurveda is much more ancient than modern medicine, isn't it?
yeah, yeah, of course. And I think
So
it's a very interesting time now. We have to bridge them.
you
We
do, you
have to
do.
bridge them. Yeah, yeah. Then only,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Especially when it comes to the skeletal, because
yeah,
Ayurveda cannot reset bones. I personally believe that your body can reset bones naturally if you have the tolerance for pain. Most of us are not meant to endure such pain. I know people, when they go to battle, right? When you have no doctor near you, you take a stick of wood and you just wrap it with something, and next thing you know, you have to continue. In our fast-paced environment, we talked about how, first of all, we have very little time for us to rest, and therefore very little time to give the body time to heal, which is why modern medicine is more convenient at times, because you have to go back to work the next day. So I want to start the conversation with the point that you made about lifestyle, diet and lifestyle. So how important are diet and lifestyle in Ayurvedic medicine?
See, it's the base because everything is cause and effect. So what I ate now will help us for next few hours. What I did now, I did some exercise, some work, some I took some rest. That will affect me again for next few hours. So it is very much important for the present health of mind that I have to be wise enough to have a correct lifestyle and correct food. So that's where you did little mistake and the effect is there. You eat some spicy thing, very hot spices, and someone tolerates it. Yeah, some body structure is like that, it tolerates it, but someone doesn't tolerate it. So you have a spices and burning starts, acidity starts. So such a direct effect, such a direct effect. You did some more exercise than your capacity, and then the imbalance will start in the body. You take little less rest, and imbalance will start in the body. So every movement is very important for us to understand how what is the status now and what I should do.
So are you
So
saying,
yeah, so that's very important, and this is a learning. And what I understand is few hundred years ago, when our lifestyle was quite slow, every person naturally has this wisdom. He may not has learned Ayurveda, or he doesn't have a knowledge of Ayurveda, but he understands his own body and he was behaving like that very naturally. See, just take example of animals. They are animals, but what is their wisdom? How is their health? And they don't follow someone else's instructions.
no?
When they are thirsty, they will drink. When they are hungry, they will eat. When they are not hungry, they will not eat. And see their health. See their health.
Perfect.
We are not following it. We are not following. That's the problem.
Definitely. So the diet is one, but the lifestyle is another. But these animals in the wild, when you have an animal that's domesticated, isn't it interesting to see some of them start demonstrating illness of the owners, or the humans? I don't think that the animals in the wild demonstrate or produce cancer. But when you have an
Yeah,
animal inside the house, isn't that interesting that you will see that animal start having arthritis and having all sorts of human conditions.
yeah, perfect. Because again, you fed them unnecessary and so many other things. So
Mhm.
perfect, perfect.
Yes, absolutely. So
Yeah,
I want to talk, and also, the things we feed them, and it will depend on the owners too. Because, don't we wish that McDonald's was helping heal the body? I would love to know that Ayurveda would put McDonald's on the menu to say that McDonald's is the top healer. But humans love not good food, but food that make you feel good, and for some reason, whatever those additives are in those food, you tend to crave them more, but the body is reacting it's a sensitivity, yeah, that is not necessarily telling you that it's good for you. It's a sensitivity that is telling you that this is a temporary fix, with like any chemicals, just like when you smoke, when you drink, that sensitivity that makes you gives you a temporary feeling good is a long-term has a long-term consequence. That's yeah. So I know what we're talking about is improving health. We are definitely not coming to say that to stop anything that you're doing. We are talking about, if you want to improve, this would be another form of therapy, if you want, or another form of support to help guide you on a healthier journey, right? So we're not against anything at all, because exactly what how your body reacts to all different types of food. So I want to get you back to the dietary recommendation. Can you give some examples of what dietary recommendations that you give for the doshas, for the different doshas?
yeah. It's very interesting that actually, again, your own wise body signals you. In Ayurveda, they mention about six different tests. So, like sweet, sour, salty, bitter, pungent means spicy, and astringent. So these are the six tests, and it's very interesting that body knows how to balance it. So sometimes, even if you keep watching yourself, suddenly one day your body will ask for something sweet, and the next day will not ask for sweet. And you will ask for some sour taste or some spicy taste or something like that. Some season changes, and body will ask different taste. You are in, suppose you are in USA, northern part of the USA, and went down to southern part of the USA where climate is totally different.
Hmm.
Again, your body, wise body, such a wise body, will immediately ask something different.
Hmm.
So there is a internal mechanism to balance the doshas. So you have to keep listening. So in Ayurveda, when I start learning, I understood that nothing is absolutely bad and nothing is absolutely good. You
Absolutely.
can't you can't say, oh, this is absolutely bad and this is, you have to have this. Actually, it's very changing what my body wants. You have done a lot of exercise, you are dead tired, and body will ask you something different. You have not done exercise, body will ask something different.
Hmm.
So this diet part is, we have to understand what my body is asking now, and you
Absolutely.
don't have to be frightened about anything.
Correct. And that's
You have
including
to,
for thirst, quenching your thirst as well. So,
yeah, everything.
the modern medicine says that you have to drink a certain amount of water every day. And so, what do you think about that? What does Ayurvedic think about the amount of water you should drink?
Very simple actually. We have such a wise, intelligent body that if water level goes down inside the body, you will get a thirst. You don't have to think intellectually. Your body will tell you, oh, I need some water. And body will also tell you how much water.
Mhm,
So if the thirst is of half a glass, you drink that half a glass and you get a feeling, wow, I'm feeling so nice. That's
mhm.
all. So I will give you a simple story in 2, 3, 4 minutes. A
Okay.
patient came to me with a lot of cold and a lot of watering through the nose, and he went to multiple doctors, took multiple medicines, all the pathies. Even he went to Ayurveda doctor, they took some medicines, but he was not feeling better. So he came to me, and as a routine, I asked him many questions. And I asked him about the question about the water, how
Mhm,
much water you drink. And he was so positive in on his face, sir, that I do perfectly. I drink maybe something 3 or 4 liters of water every day. That I do every day. He was very positive. So I asked him, are you thirsty when you drink? No, 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 I am not thirsty. So I said, you enjoy drinking that water? He said, such a difficulty to drink that water, but I drink. So I got the reason. I said, just do one thing, go back home and just drink water as per your thirst. Now I understood he was drinking so much of water. How much water kidneys will take out?
mhm,
Kidneys are machines, so they have a limitations. So they were taking out some water, but some water was staying inside,
mhm,
and that was turning into the mucus, which
mhm.
is collecting in his sinuses and chest, and he's having a cold, cough and cold all the time. So I said this, and I was quiet. He was looking at me, what next? I said, that's fine, that's finished. So he was not happy with my treatment because I didn't gave him some blue, orange, and green tablets. So he went with a long face, saying that, oh, what is this, doctor? I have to give fees, and he has not given any medicine. So I said him that you let me know after 8, 10 days. But I was thinking he will not come back to me. But I said, this is my way of treating the patient. Let's see. He called me after 8, 10 days saying that, doctor, you're right. I'm feeling much better now. My cold has gone. I'm just drinking water as per my thirst. So see how the things will go in a wrong direction
Mhm.
if you don't listen to your body.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Especially sometimes, and I notice this for myself that when something gets more expanded, a situation of pain, and at the instance when it gets bigger, I can go back and say, I remember when this started. Had I paid attention to when it started, it would have not gotten bigger because the body is very subtle. I mean, I practice the form of meditation that you know, which is Vipassana, and Vipassana helps me really pick up the most subtle, sensations on the body, which is what helps me to become more aware of what is happening within. So when something, a pain, a ache, I'm aware of it. But the average person does not pain. As long as you can stand, you can walk, the big functions. But the average person is not really quieting its themselves to expect. You can do this at night. You can just listen to the body, see when you rest before you go to sleep what is happening in the body, what is more prominent for you. And I'm not a meditation teacher, nor am I a Ayurvedic instructor or practitioner. I just know for me what helps me to stay in tune. So I wanted to bring back, and also we were talking, I'm sorry, and I made you jump from one thing to another. We were talking about the different dietary recommendations for the doshas. For instance, for kapha, what is the type of diet that you recommend for someone who is kapha?
Yeah. So let's understand this kapha. As I said, kapha is a formation of earth and water element. So this kapha person, it's a constitution where he is always little overweight. He is chubby. since childhood he's chubby. So like you may be remembering that we pick up some small kid and we realized, oh my god, he's so heavy, I cannot hold him for a long.
Right.
That's a kapha child,
Mhm.
very strong since childhood.
Mhm.
So naturally, when the kapha is there, one is that they will not get a very strong hunger naturally.
Mhm.
Their hunger is moderate. So maybe that kapha person may get hunger twice a day, maximum thrice a day.
Mhm.
His metabolism is very slow. So his appetite is low. He's slow in every action.
Mhm.
He will talk very quietly. He will move very quietly. He will react very quietly.
Mhm.
so so you tell him some work and he will do it with very leisurely.
Mhm.
So that's the slowness he has.
Mhm.
So that's the natural slowness. So for him, the heavy food is not very good. He is already heavy. He is already solid. He is already earthy. So we should go for a lighter food for him.
Mhm.
So for him, like for obesity, we usually say that he should have a lighter grain. So like then one has to see where he stay in the world and which grain he is available for local grain.
Mhm.
So, like if we see the different grains, wheat is very heavier grain.
Mhm.
So for that person, wheat won't be a very ideal grain,
Mhm.
but maybe rice or millets,
Mhm.
different millets will
Mhm.
be good for him. Or not a red meat will not be a good choice for him.
Mhm.
Very heavy, not lot of sweet meats,
Mhm.
sweet things.
Mhm.
Naturally, as I've seen these kapha people, naturally they will love the spices,
Mhm.
hot spices,
Mhm.
bitter taste or astringent taste.
Mhm.
All these three tastes are very light in nature,
Mhm.
so they will prefer this kind of food. Have a craving for sweet and some very heavy oily and cheesy things, but
Mhm.
not naturally.
Mhm.
So they don't have to go for a very heavy things. So they should not go to McDonald's naturally. The vata person can go. The vata person can go. So again, a little vegetables and salads and fruits, rice, all these lighter things are very good for them.
Mhm.
And of course, exercise is
Of
very
course. Of
important.
course. Before we dive back in, it is a pleasure to tell you that my book, Sendor Inner Luxury, Unlock the Secret to Your Luxurious Self, now on Kindle and as well as on paperback. So feel free to rush and get a copy for your loved ones. In addition, if you are loving these extraordinary conversations about luxury, about balance, about emotional intelligence, about a little bit of politics, a little bit of spirituality, if you're loving all of it, well, rush to Amazon and get my book. You will learn emotional balance is from within. You will learn to elevate yourself to the frequency that you wish to express in the world. So there can be more love, more peace, more harmony. But there's more. You can rush to pre order my next book, which is Sindor Guide to Luxury Living and Emotional Balance. Well, for me, my brand is all about living from within, emotional balance, emotional intelligence, and luxury. And for me, these books are flowing endlessly from me to you with so much love. Let me know what you think. Let me know after you read it. Put a comment, put a review. I'd love to hear from you. So, does the body change over time from one system to another, from one dosha to another? For instance, does this, well, I suppose you say if you start off as kapha and you get to you become leaner, does the body adjust itself to a different type of dosha?
It can happen. It can happen in many circumstances, but it takes a lot of time. Like he's a kapha person and going through a lot of exertions
Mhm,
and lot of things, lot of stress, no good rest, and this is happening for years. Then he may change to some constitution, but
mhm,
that's not so easy.
mhm.
That
But
that
it
it
has
takes
happened.
years. It has happened. It will take years.
I
Maybe a
remember
very
you.
thin
Mhm,
person, a very thin person, a vata person,
mhm.
may change to a kapha person after so many years of bad food and routine.
In lifestyle. So talk to me, let's go from kapha to vata that you just mentioned. So what type of diet should they adopt to best support them?
So see, Vata is a thin person, wind. So dominant characteristic in a Vata person is wind, and then he is very windy. He can't sit quietly. He just moving his hands and shaking his legs and talking, and doing. You just tell him something, and he will rush for a work, and he will be sitting next to you. What next? Like that. He is so fast. He is so fast. He's thin, he is so fast, a lot of windiness into him. So naturally, a food exactly opposite to Vata. Vata is wind, dryness. So all the sticky things,
Mhm,
wheat, heavy grains like wheat will help him to also sweet test will be very good for him. SAR test will also help him. So this and naturally he will love those things. But what happens unfortunately, like you see same things are happening in India, but in US you will see the oil-free diet.
mhm,
Now that's little okay for a kapha person, not absolutely, but little okay. But if vata person starts that diet, oh, he will be on a toss. So much of vata, he will suffer with so much of vata, and in his mind, he is thinking, I am having a best diet. So I have so many patients like that. They tell me that this is the problem and I am having this diet and I don't even look at oil or butter, and then I know what to it's very simple to treat him. So I have to explain a lot because I have to break that barrier that no, oil will be medicine for you, butter will be medicine for you, and then he starts it. I remember one book I was reading. It's
mhm,
about the cancer issue in USA, and that person has made a very interesting comparison. He said that in the US, I think 150 years ago or something, 80% of the food will be based on dairy. So a lot of butter and cream and etc. etc. And
mhm.
cancer percentage was very low. And now he has shown that 80% of the food is based on meat, non-vegetarian things,
Mhm.
and only 20% is dairy. And a lot of cancers are there. So he was comparing in that sense. Oh,
Interesting. Interesting,
yeah,
because I
interesting.
know in India, I was there last year in, Jaipur. So, for me, dairy is not necessarily my top choice, but because where I was, is completely vegetarian, so I gravitated to dairy to get some protein. So, for people, for this type, um, that so we're talking about pita right now. I'm sorry, we're talking about
Mata,
vata,
yeah.
vata, sorry. And so for that type, you're saying that it's better to have dairy than to have meat to fulfill the need for protein.
Yeah, because see, meat has one thing which is known as omega 6,
Mhm,
is quite high in meat products.
mhm,
And in dairy, omega 3 is very high.
mhm,
And now there is a comparison. Like in general, they say that the proportion of omega 3 and omega 6 is 1 is to 5 in the body.
mhm,
So if you have 1 unit of omega 3, you should have 5 units of omega 6.
Mhm.
But now the percentage has gone to 1 is to 80,
Mm.
something like that. So much of omega 6. And from where this omega 6 is coming is one is meat, and secondly, this new oils, refined
Mhm.
oils,
Mhm.
sunflower oil
Mhm.
and whatnot.
Mhm.
So that's a problem.
I must say myself, I'm not very well versed in the scientific terms of omega 3s and et cetera,
Yeah.
but, I trust I lean more towards what when they say organic. For some reason, when I hear organic, I just think that it must be the healthier version. What do you think about that, Dr. Mehta? Do you think that
Yeah, yeah, it,
organic is the
yeah,
best
yeah,
option?
yeah. It's very interesting. See, everything you can compare with the base of Ayurveda. So, what happens is when you start putting chemicals in the soil, urea, nitrate, and etc., and you
Mhm,
test them. When you test, don't test them, but if you test them, they are all bitter and pungent and astringent, so full of vata. So, when this vata is increasing in the soil, whatever comes from that soil is will have more vata.
mhm, mhm, and
So,
go ahead.
so if you see today, everything will be big. Like a flower will be big, cauliflower will be big,
Mhm.
tomatoes will be big. Everything is big.
Yeah,
Uh,
apples this
it's
big.
so full of vata, full of wind, but nutrition, earth element is very less.
Mhm, mhm,
Same with the grains.
mhm,
So what happened is we increased the production,
mhm.
the nutrition value has gone
Diminished.
up.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, it's always in the bottom line, the profit. Of course, organic in this country is definitely more costly in the US. But if you go to places like India, organic is farming is natural. It's old fashioned, it's the older way of doing it. So you got to wonder, so why I guess the more they produce, the more you products they have, and therefore they can afford to reduce the rate. But at the end of the day, long-term consequences are, your health is really priceless. So it's a small price to pay, for good health. So I wanted to go back to, I know I keep, something pops into my mind, and I thought we'd talk about the organic version of the products that we're talking about. So we talked about vata. How about for pita?
Pitta, see, understand Pitta. Pitta is fire. So this person is very fiery. So so two things, two qualities with him. Fire is intellect. Whenever you show any symbol of intellect, you show the fire. So fire is so he is very intellectual, very
Hmm.
intelligent.
Hmm.
He just catch the things like this. You teach something and he will get to know. The kapha person will not understand it very easily, and vata will understand it but will forget it very easily. It's very fast. Vata is very fast. So this pitta person, he is not very big like kapha.
Hmm.
He is not very thin like vata. He is moderate. And pitta. So you just shake hands with him and you will ask him, "Hey, are you having a fever?" So he will say, "No, no, it's my normal temperature like this." So he's always heaty, a lot of heat. And heat means his metabolism is very fast.
Right,
So his hunger will be very strong.
right.
So he is hungry and didn't get food. So what will come to him is anger. Also, anger is a quality of pitta person. Like a vata person is very anxious, a lot of thoughts, but pitta is like fire.
Hmm.
You don't get anything, he will be angry. So that's pitta quality. So he will need a good food, good hunger is there, and he will prefer the uh, very simple food. He will not like a lot of spices,
Mhm.
hot spices, or very sourness or saltiness. A very simple food, and he will not like the warm. So,
Mm.
like if he is drinking a tea, he will keep it for some time, let it cool down, and he will drink the tea.
Mhm.
He will be enjoying ice creams. He will enjoy ice creams because he will love that coolingness. He will
Yes.
have all the cooling things. He will
Right.
always love to have a cooling things.
Right.
So that's him. Now, see, the problem is very interesting that I always worried about the kids. I don't worry much about the elders because elders can do what they wish. But the
Sure.
kids, if it's a pitta kid and he wants to have something cooling, and his mother will say, no, no, you should not have anything cooling. That's not good for you. But he is asking for something cooling, isn't it? So
Yes.
I feel that if the mothers are uh, full of wisdom of Ayurveda, they will know, oh, this kid is a pitta kid, and
Mhm.
I should give him something cooling,
Absolutely. So
isn't it?
it's very
And some
interesting.
kid is, yeah, just some kid is a vata kid,
Mhm.
and he loves cheese and butter and etc. And mother is not giving and giving him salad. So what will happen to him? A poor fellow. Yeah.
So even at an early age, I think little humans actually know what their body's telling them to. They may not have the logic to understand why, but they are more like closer to the animal kingdom where they do it from intuition, correct?
See, even small kid
Yep.
who's drinking the mother's milk,
Hmm.
we don't have to tell him that you stop now.
Right.
When his hunger is satisfied, he will stop. He
That's
understands
fascinating,
that.
isn't it?
Yeah, he
It's the
understands that.
intelligence within us. And at some point we stop because the conditioning comes in and says, the human tells the parent, because I know for my mother was a very natural minded person, but at some point she started giving that power over to the modern medicine, because modern medicine says this and modern medicine says that. I was one who actually wanted to have a banana with every meal when I was young, every meal, and the doctor told my mother stop giving her bananas. My my because I wanted that sweet taste,
Yeah.
and of banana. So every meal, even with salty, I had to have a banana. And my mother indulged me, and she said she stopped telling the doctor because the doctor would say, not good for your child. Well, I mothers knows best, and she kept giving it to me until some point I didn't want it anymore. So so it's interesting how, I think mothers are actually giving that power to medicine or to doctors who don't actually have the holistic view of the child. They just have a traditional chart to say, the American diet is should be this, and this. I mean, I didn't, my early years were in Haiti where I was born, but I was quite young when I came to the US. And that's when, modern medicine is very, how can I say, controlling. It is very controlling. Even when you go to school, everyone has the same structure of meal. There are no options.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
So I know India is a little bit different with their. So do you treat when you look at the different styles, so you know that there could be various types within one family. There could
Yeah.
be a Pitta, a Vata, and a Kapha. So how do you help them incorporate, or how can I say, um, integrate their different styles of eating within one family?
So basic ingredients can be same. Like in India, that rice and wheat roti or some millet roti will be there.
Mhm.
So there they can choose. But along with that, you can have a different things. So like some vata person may have some sour and sweet pickle or some sweet
Mhm.
moramba, something made from sugar, something sugar or jaggery
Mhm.
with ghee. And then kapha person may have some spicy chutney made from some spices and garlic,
Mhm.
something like that.
Mhm.
So many different options. Like there are dals or sambars in India. So the kapha person can enjoy that dal and sambar.
Mhm.
So many things along with that can be adjusted according to one's dosha.
Mhm.
So many choices, so many choices.
Absolutely. That's fantastic. And so, as far as the body and, trying to discern what is good, what the body is accepting as more supportive versus another. So, how it's just a matter of you being able to recognize what, even if you as the doctor is telling them, this is the type you are, the person should still be paying attention to what their body, their processes are, to know what's working for them and what's not working for them. One of the things I do is, especially in the US and in Europe, I actually look at the ingredients to see what's in it, because something could be obvious choice, but they have so many additives and the product itself that it becomes a contrary, it may get you a contrary result that you want. So that's one of the things that I wanted to point out. But as far, and I want to get you to the role of detoxing. So do you, before you start people off or your patients off on, you put them on a specific style of eating, do you detox them? Do you put them on a plan of detoxification?
Actually, not. Actually, not. Because see, this detoxification needs a good amount of time
Mhm.
and lot of rules to follow.
Mhm.
And in today's world, it's very difficult that people can take out. Very few can take out that much of time.
Mhm.
So even just follow the daily changes is difficult for them.
Mhm.
They like a most difficulty I can see about the women. Like in India, they have to perform this dual role. Like they are looking after the house, the kitchen in the house, and also going for a job, a
Mhm.
full day job of
Mhm.
something 8 to 5 and something like that,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
uh, not able to look towards themselves,
Mhm.
not at all about their hunger, and they are just doing for their family. So it's
Mhm.
very difficult. Actually, I should share like always advice to, and I can see that like in if you see the old Indian movies, it's always a scene that mother is sitting near the gas
Mhm.
or this kitchen, and whole family is sitting around her, and she is making a very fresh food and giving them
Mhm.
just there itself.
Right.
That's now a dream now. Even in India, it is like a dream in the usually in the cities. So I sometimes feel that such an important role women was playing in the house. She was the doctor of the house.
Mhm.
He was taking care of the house.
Right.
And I somewhere feel that we didn't give respect to her duty, and
Right.
now she has come out of the house.
Right.
And
Right.
that's a big, what I say, uh, big problem has
It's a
happened.
challenge for society at the
Challenge,
moment.
yeah. So women has such an important role,
Mhm.
and now it's very difficult. So this women, how she will follow this detoxification?
Mhm.
So I just see that when it's absolutely needed,
Mhm.
Then
So
I advise detoxification.
so tell me, so if someone was to do a detox, what would that look like? When you say it takes too long, how long does it take?
So usually there are five types of detox in Ayurveda.
Mhm.
They call it pancha karma. Pancha means five, and karma means treatments. Five types of treatment.
Mhm.
So they are different for different doshas. So like kapha's place is here, upper part of the body.
Mhm.
Take out this excess kapha. The shortcut is through vomiting.
Mhm.
So we give this treatment of vamana. Vamana means vomiting.
Mhm.
So we first give him the patient few medicines, or he may drink some medicated oil or ghee
Mhm.
for 3, 4, 5 days.
Mhm.
And then a stage comes where we see that now the kapha is ready to come out.
Mhm.
Then we give some emetics to him.
Mhm.
So he will vomit. He will vomit for 10 times, 20 times, 30 times. And all this sticky kapha
Mhm.
comes out.
Mhm.
And then he will get rid of the kapha issues he's having for a long time.
Mhm.
Like maybe in the lungs, the kapha is accumulated,
Mhm.
like a bronchitis or lung infection or
Mhm.
something, and not getting cured.
Mhm.
So we take out this kapha and he will feel better.
Mhm.
So that's a treatment for kapha,
Mhm.
vamana. Second treatment for kapha is known as nasya.
Mhm.
Nasya means putting medicines in the nose.
Mhm.
So the kapha collected in the sinuses, these are the sinuses.
Mhm.
Sinuses means empty bones.
Mhm.
So kapha collects here. So take out this kapha, we put medicines in the nose,
Mhm.
and the kapha will start coming out of the nose.
Okay.
So these are the two treatments for kapha.
The kapha.
Pitta stays in the middle part of the body.
Mhm.
So our kitchen is here. So all this stomach and pancreas and small intestine,
Right.
spleen, all these area is our kitchen.
Right.
The acids come there. So to take out those excess acids, excess pitta from the body, again we give him some medicated ghee to drink, medicated oil to drink for some days. And after 4, 5, 6 days, when the stage comes, when we know the pitta is ready to come out, we give him a laxative.
Okay.
So he will have loose motions for 10, 15, 20 times,
Mhm.
and all the acid will come out and he will get rid of the pitta problems.
Wonderful.
Second treatment of pitta is very interesting treatment, is known as bloodletting.
Mhm.
So another place of pitta to stay is blood.
Hmm.
Our blood is our human beings blood is hot.
Mhm.
We are not cold blooded animals. We are hot blooded
Some
animals.
s- there are some people that says some humans are cold-blooded animals.
Yeah.
I think some of them are in politics.
Yeah. But we have to check their blood.
We do.
So blood is always hot. So pitta stays there.
Okay.
So there is one treatment is known as bloodletting. You take out the blood.
Okay.
Like you donate the blood, you
Uh-huh.
take out the blood. In the
Uh-huh.
same way, you take out the blood from the veins,
Mhm.
100 ml, 150 ml, 200 ml.
Mhm.
And as this hot blood comes out, your pitta will subside.
Really? So
Yeah.
what do you do with the blood afterwards? You just donate it to someone
You
else?
no, no, you
You throw it away?
throw it away.
It's okay. So
And
that's the
very interestingly, I will tell you. See how what happens. Ayurveda from India went to Arab countries,
Mhm.
and at that time, Baghdad has a big universities.
Mhm.
Few thousands years ago,
Mhm.
big universities, and they pick up Ayurveda, and from there it went to Greece and Europe and England at that time, thousands of years ago. It went there. And it's very interestingly, this bloodletting become very popular in England.
Interesting.
Yeah, it became very popular, and slowly it happened that for everything they started doing bloodletting for many diseases. And
Interesting.
and the cases happened that they took so much of blood that patient died. So there was a restriction by government after a few years that one should not do bloodletting treatment.
In England, but especially it's such a cold country. Wouldn't that
Yeah.
have some it's even more complicated when you do it in a colder climate than in a warm climate? Is that a factor?
No, basically they lost the basic science maybe,
Mm,
that how much when to take it out, how much to take it out, and etc. And it, but interestingly that Ayurveda reached there.
mhm.
That's
That's
a very
fantastic.
interesting thing.
Well, there's a
Yeah.
large Indian population, but I also want to point out there's a fine line between a healthy practice and an addiction, right?
Yeah.
Because every treatment, of course, in modern medicine, you have opioids. Opioids serve a purpose, but there's a growing trend of addiction with opioids. So everything is a fine line. So it's not for everyone. You have to have logic before you start using certain practices. Well, that's fantastic. So that's the second one. So what about the next dosha? I don't think we've
So
talked. Go ahead.
yeah, so we completed the four treatments, two
Mhm.
for kapha and two for pitta.
Yes.
Vata, the place of vata is lower abdomen, below the umbilicus.
Hmm.
There is the large intestine,
Hmm.
and vata naturally gets generated in large intestine.
Hmm.
That's his place. So when there is a excess vata, to take out that vata, the shortcut is enemas. Enemas is giving oil or decoction
Hmm.
from below.
Okay.
Through anal opening, we push oil or decoction made from various medicines, and
Hmm.
we take out the vata, the gases.
Hmm.
So that's the fifth treatment known as
The
basti.
detox. The detox.
Yeah. So these are the five detox treatments in
Hmm.
Ayurveda,
Okay.
and very important for if you have a time to do these things. Now see, everything has changed. Now you go to some center and they will give you some package,
Mhm.
and in that package they will do everything for you.
Right.
So they don't check whether this is needed for him or not. They will do everything for you. So that's not a right concept. You
Right.
have to check whether what is necessary for
For
this
the patient.
person, and you can do the detox.
Absolutely, because they say, well, somebody will say, it's like when you go to wash your car, you have these big car washes now, and
Yeah.
they give you express, they give you premium, they give you also, and based on, okay, today I can afford express, tomorrow I can export. So it's never, what's really needed. Well, I choose what's needed, but for the most part, people will just go, oh, just give me premium because they think that they actually need everything. But so that's the way healthcare is today. Whatever you can afford, whatever, and most people who have insurance, but also you're referring to some of these spas that have all sorts of treatment. Yeah, and they have many of them in India and they serve a purpose, but most of them don't have the experts to actually tailor and customize a treatment for each person. Not all, some of them do have people on site, but not, most of them don't. But go ahead.
Because see, if you don't do the detox scientifically, as mentioned in Ayurveda, it
Hmm.
has a big side effects.
Hmm.
It has a big side effects.
Hmm.
So I've seen many patients, they return from detox and they say, oh, I was better before detox and now I'm feeling these problems.
So now I need you.
Yeah.
They should
Yeah.
have checked with you before.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But that's fantastic. So what we're clear about is like not everyone is created the same. Unfortunately, nowadays we think that the same prescription will work for everyone, which is
Yeah,
why when we look at these commercials, these on television, they say, be aware that this medicine may cause XYZ. And
yeah,
one person, it's just, and more recently, we had the big occurrence with COVID, and I know you've made many talks about that and the alternatives. And this topic is it this the topic of COVID is not the topic of this video, but I touch on that because a lot of people were talking about they took the vaccine and they had this reaction and that reaction to it. People must understand that some people will react and some people won't react, and
yeah,
so that's based on what we've been talking about. I'm not one to push. I mean, I didn't take it, but I don't believe in it. I believe that my body's fine tuning itself. I was never afraid during that time. I never had any fear. As a matter of fact, when I was sitting a long course, when that happened, did you know? So I'll tell the quick story of that. So I sat the course in from February to March. It was scheduled to end on March 15th or 16th. Right before it ended, they called us out of the course to advise us of this situation. And of course, I'd been prepared because I was in silence. So 30 days, and this is the big, storm in my mind. And but I was very calm, and but I came out finding a society in chaos. But I was
yeah.
extremely calm. So what I was saying is, I had been prepared for that storm, and because I didn't have many, I had other storms within, but it's again, I think the way we approach medicine is the way we approach life. How, if you see everything, or let's just call it any type of healing process, yeah, if you see everything as the external affecting you more than your internal affecting out there, what you're saying is we need to focus more within to find the healing mechanism to help guide our healing process or well-being. So I wanted to touch a little bit about that. And when you find patients that are very agitated, that are afraid, of situations such as the COVID situation, how do you help them before you can, because sometimes they are not even available to you mentally to even discuss treatment. So how can you help someone who has so much fear blocking their mind and blocking them listening to you? How do you help them calm, and what's the pre-treatment treatment for those kind of people?
See, actually, today I can see most of my patients are with fear,
Yeah.
some little or more, but they have fear. And that's why, like, if I say something that don't worry about this, you do it, you take this some little oil, don't worry about cholesterol, we will keep on checking your cholesterol and etc etc. But they are so afraid, they are so afraid with so many things that it's not easy to follow the instructions.
Hmm.
uh, and a lot of less, as you said, you mentioned a lot of less tolerance today. A little sneeze, just one sneeze, and they will be fearful. Oh, what infection has happened? And they will just run here and there and take tons of antibiotics and so many things.
Hmm.
So, as you said correctly, almost every patient, I introduce them to Anapana meditation,
Hmm.
which they can do at home. Like,
And
you
can you
know,
explain what that is, Anapana?
yeah. So, see, what happens is we have this mind, monkey like mind, and we listen so many things, and that just goes in our mind
Mhm,
again and again and again, and that creates a fear and so many things. So, we have to focus on the on this entrance of the nostril, and we have to just feel the incoming breath and outgoing breath.
Mhm.
That's all. It's not pranayam. We don't have to forcefully take it or you forcefully release it. You just observe it.
Mhm.
And then what happens with your closed eyes? You can sit comfortably.
Mhm.
And what happens is few breaths, you realize some air is going inside, coming outside, and
Mhm.
your mind wanders.
Mhm.
And then you are just there in the thoughts. So I asked them that don't worry, if it wanders, wander. That's the nature of the mind.
Mhm.
Your role is to bring it back.
Mhm.
So bring it back. So again, it wanders, they bring it back. Then slowly it starts settling here,
Mhm.
maybe for a minute, 2 minutes. And then I explain, then see how you feel. So they say, I'm little feeling a little bit better. Because, see, we should realize that the stress is in the thoughts,
Absolutely.
isn't it? And who we know that the thoughts are going there, but how to control it? We don't
Mhm.
know. We don't know it. So once you start observing your breath, you are taking out your mind from the thoughts,
Mhm.
and there is no stress in the breath.
Mhm.
Observing breath, there is no stress, so you start feeling better and better.
Mhm.
So and then if they feel that, oh, this is working for me,
Mhm.
then I advise them for a course of vipassana of 10 days
Mhm. And
where
you
they
are a
actually
Vipassana master teacher, aren't you?
yeah, but basically anyone can guide, any doctor can guide this to their patients, because I can see that is absolutely necessary in
Absolutely.
today's
It
world.
has saved my life, Dr. Mehta. Vipassana
Yeah,
has saved my life, including applying, using Ayurveda life
yeah,
diets.
yeah.
Absolutely. But yeah, so I do feel that the majority of conditions are coming from the stressful mind, the monkey mind, as you call it, because there's
So,
fear. It's just fear.
yeah, so actually it's both the things, mind and matter.
Hmm.
We have made up of mind and matter,
Hmm.
and we have to follow both the laws. We
Hmm.
have to follow the laws of mind and laws of matter, and we have to balance both the things.
Hmm.
If your mind is good but matter is not good,
Hmm.
you're doing a big mistakes about your matter,
Hmm.
you will have to suffer.
Absolutely.
And if your matter is fine, everything is fine, but is your mind is not fine, again you are suffering. So you have to work on both the things. And that's why, and I have seen patients, like, very interestingly, that some patients are at the having a terminal stage of cancer, and no, they know that they can see that their death is just few days ahead,
Hmm.
and they are so strong with their mind. They are doing meditation, vipassana meditation,
Hmm.
and they are so strong and they are laughing. So, such a surprise that such a good, strong mental health they are having, and that's what one should have.
Absolutely. And my teacher, SN Goenka, may he rest in peace. And I met him the year that I came to Igapuri, where I met you. And he said, be your own master. And he said, make yourself strong. Those were his words to me when I was so agitated. Now, first of all, I was so excited to meet him. And he just laughed because I was one of those, I feel a fan and a groupie, a devotee. But I was just like, I can't believe I'm meeting Goenkaji. But he said, make yourself strong. And that's exactly what you're referring to, making yourself strong, to know that people can give you advice. But at the end of the day, the wisdom will come from within as to if the advice is great for you, which is where I want to lead you. And the Ayurveda is not for everyone because not everyone has that state of mind to be receptive to new ideas. And it's not that we are trying to force anyone to come to this lifestyle, but we're just providing an alternative to what is already prominent in the West. And I don't have to speak about it to the Easterners because most people in Asia already know about Ayurveda. But I do feel Ayurveda is becoming more and more prominent in the West because people are finding that certain practices and certain solutions are not suitable for them. And so I want to ask you the final question that I have for you. And are there can you give us some examples of some conditions that are very complementary to the Ayurvedic treatment?
Yeah. So one thing I can see today is one is arthritis. Uh, I can see many patients with arthritis, and previously it was an issue of old age, like in 70s, 80s. Then you have a knee pain and etc. etc.
Hmm.
But now in 30s and 40s, people are coming to me with a knee pain and
Hmm.
etc. And I can see that there is a noise in their joints.
Hmm.
When you move their joints, you get tuck 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 noise.
Hmm.
So that's clear that the lubrication over there is get over.
Hmm.
And now they will the bones will brush to each other and there will be wear and tear, and ultimately it will lead to knee transplant
Hmm.
surgery.
Hmm.
And then it's a vata condition. Vata is dry in nature.
Hmm.
So it will, when it is more in the body, it will reach the joints and will dry the lubrication over there,
Hmm.
dry it out. So then I have to check with them that what mistake he is doing. And again, they are in 13, 40s working in some big company,
Yes.
not eating on time. They are hungry and not eating on time, not taking a good rest.
Hmm.
And again, the mind is a problem. And
Living in big cities like Mumbai.
yeah, Mumbai, Pune is horrible. And so they have these multiple issues. So I have to settle all these issues. Again, there is this blockage about eating oils and etc.
Hmm.
So I have to explain them that you will need some oil in this stage.
Hmm.
Whatever oil you drink, you take in the food will reach your joints, and then there will be a lubrication. And also I recommend them that now for next 5 6 months, every day you put oil on the joints,
Hmm.
and in next 6 months the noise should not be there and the
Hmm.
pain should not be there.
Hmm.
And that works.
Absolutely.
If someone follows it, that works, and that prevents the further wear and tear. See, it's very interestingly, if you know about the oils, oil has four vitamins: vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, and vitamin K. So you know about vitamin D.
Hmm.
Vitamin D is absolutely necessary for the health of the bones.
Absolutely.
And it is very interesting to know to our audience that what is vitamin E.
Hmm.
Vitamin E is a best antioxidant.
Hmm.
Today we talked a lot about antioxidants, but which is the best antioxidant is vitamin E.
Hmm.
And where it is in the oils.
Correct.
So the oils are preserving you.
Hmm.
They will preserve you. They will,
Preserving the functions of the body.
yeah, they will prevent the oxidation.
Hmm.
Oxidation means wear and tear.
Hmm.
They will give you a long life.
Yep. A
They
long
will,
life, healthy, long life.
yeah. So this not to have oils all totally is actually creating many new issues in the world.
Sure.
So we have to be very careful. And I am sure after some day, some scientist in the US will come with this research that oil is absolutely necessary for health.
They will.
That will be too late for us. So we have to start it now.
We have to start it now.
Yeah, yeah.
So there are so many questions that I have for you. I mean, I could have, days, but I wanted to tell the audience about what we're planning. We are planning to launch a course in Ayurveda, which is going to be completely online, but that will be a more in-depth study for those who wish to know more about Ayurveda. And we've given you a lot today, and I hope you can watch this, say take 15 minutes at a time to watch it and be completely in sync. So by the time you come to the course, you will have a foundation to understand what will be outlined in the course. So we don't have the details yet and when it's going to be launched, but just rest assured that it will be. And I promise you, for the audience, Dr. Mehta will be available to you through the course. But also leave at the bottom of the comments at the video in the podcast what you would like to the course to include, what topics you'd like, or if you have any questions specifically, we'll try to answer them for you. But of course, I always encourage to engage with the audience because these podcasts are for you. So Dr. Mehta, can you please give us some final thoughts on from listeners?
Uh, so yeah, my request will be start learning Ayurveda, little Ayurveda, and it is so simple. It is so simple. Even a very simple, uneducated person can understand the basic principles and start applying it and take hold of your health in your hand. That's very important. Take hold of your health. It there should be, see, like previously, we don't used to run to doctor for every small things. There were such a wisdom in the house that the some grandmother or grandfather will tell you, oh, you are having this, take this some little things, and that's fine. So we don't have to run for all the time to the doctors. Yeah, there is some emergency, definitely you have to run to doctor, but take hold of your health, uh, understand everything. Like so many misconceptions about Ayurveda. One big conception is, now it's becoming popular, is that herbal medicines doesn't have side effects. How it can be. So yeah, everything has a side effect. I just tell you that even you drink a little more water, there is a side effect.
Mm-hmm.
So why not herbal medicines? So
Mm-hmm.
like I gave an example of black pepper. Black pepper is a very good medicine for kapha.
Mm-hmm.
So I ask my patient, have one spoonful of black pepper and see what happens. He will start burning immediately. So there is a side effect. So don't misunderstand that Ayurveda medicines doesn't have side effects. Everything in the world has a side effect.
If you overindulge in it, it's
Yeah.
everything should be used in moderation. And so, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, like I can see that now it's a fashion of this turmeric latte, some
Yes,
turmeric
yes.
milk in.
Very trendy, very popular.
Very trendy, yeah. So they say that it's like, see, these people are wonderful. They can use everything for their business. So this turmeric has a bitterness into it,
Mhm.
and if a vata person will have more of this turmeric, will have a side effects. So it cannot be for everyone. Yeah, maybe for kapha. Even a kapha person will have a lot of turmeric, he will have a side effects. So it cannot be that this is the solution for everyone. So be wiser, That's the only thing. Be wiser with your own experience and be your own doctor.
Yes.
And take care of your mental health.
Mental health is
Yeah.
definitely because it's mind, body, spirit, correct? So we have to take care of all three gifts that we were given when we incarnated into this. So I just want to say thank you again, Dr. Nikhil Mehta. Can you please tell the audience how they can reach you?
They can reach me on my mail ID, Nikhil Mehta, Nikhil Mehta 68 at yahoo.co.in.
Or reach out to me. Of course, we're going to put all Dr. Mehta's contact information at the bottom of the video and the podcast. It's been a pleasure as always. One of my favorite people in India was delightful enough to join me today. So, as I said, this podcast is for you. Any comments, any feedback, any suggestions, we're here for you. We want to know how we can help you move forward on your healing journey on this Frankly Speaking with Sendra D podcast. And I wish everyone the very best. Until next time, take good care of yourself, in your body, in your mind. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Sandra. Thank you.
So thanks for watching. Of course, I just want to remind you, first of all, I want to say thanks for watching. But I want to say from my heart, Sendra D, I want to remind you to grab your copy on Amazon and let me know what your thoughts are, what feedback you have, what you would have liked me to speak about. Of course, we're on this journey together. So Amazon, Kindle, paperback, Sindor, Inner Luxury. And for those of you who are ready to dive even deeper, you can get ready because there's more coming. Sindor Guide to Luxury Living and Emotional Balance. That's going to be available very soon. So stay tuned, keep watching. I will announce. You follow me on my social medias as I tease a little bit of this and a little bit of that for your highest good. Remember, luxury isn't just a lifestyle. It is absolutely a mindset. And I don't know about you, I want my mindset to reflect all of the highest frequencies available to us humans. Till next time, don't forget, grab your copy on Amazon, Sindor, Inner Luxury, Unlocking the Secret to Your Luxurious Self. Until next time. Oh, and don't forget, subscribe to Frankly Speaking with Sendra D's podcast and join us every week as we uncover the stories of those who triumphed over life-altering challenges to achieve not just financial success, but a richer, a deeper, a more altruistic life. It's about time we redefine what it means to be a truly affluent individual. Don't you agree? So come and join me. And let's be unstoppable on this journey called life. The path to waking up to your authentic being.